Hopefully that looks okay. Let's check really quick. But yeah, I finished these two sketches today, a little bit earlier. Let me see if the stream is running right. Does it sound okay? Let's see. Does the stream sound okay? Yeah, it sounds alright. Okay. Alright, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. So I did these two earlier today. And then I actually did a dog, which is crazy because I feel like I never sketch animals just because it's kind of out of my like wheelhouse, I feel like a bit. This is from the other stream, so this is from yesterday's stream. And then these two I did today. And then I had that one too. So I just want to do one more before I go to sleep. Just chill out for a bit and do a portrait. I have a bunch of references. I've been a little more proactive now before these streams where I'll go out and I'll try to find a reference. And I've been using an app called what's it called? It's called Museum. It used to be called Sketchy, but now it's called Museum by Sketchy. And this was one of the references on the website. So that's what I'll be using. And yeah, I think it's a good one. The guy's face is pretty interesting, and the lighting is kind of cool too. So should be some fun. Should be fun. Let's kind of prop this up. Okay. I was working out earlier. I really rarely ever. Well, I run a lot, but I don't really like lift weights very often. And so today I lifted a little bit of weight, and my arms feel like much different. So hopefully I'll still be good with my hands. It is kind of crazy. Like a couple years ago, um, I was more interested in going to the gym, and I would like go to the gym, and I would be doing squats or whatever, and I would go to the gym whatever time, and then come home at like it would be nighttime by the time I came home, and then having to drive home with like wobbly legs. It's weird that they just like the law lets you do that. Like you can drive home from the gym if you've like absolutely demolished your legs. It's kind of weird. Because honestly, I felt like it did feel like obviously I'm glad I made it home, praise God, but I feel like you very easily could hey Bridget, um hey Jan. Not anything. We're working on a portrait today. I showed the reference a little bit earlier, but I'm just gonna do this one before I go to bed. This is just a reference from an app called Museum. So I'm gonna try to do that before I head to bed. What time is it? 8:30. Okay, so I have like another hour before I want to try to hit the hay, as they say. I like this guy. This guy has an interesting face. He definitely has a little bit like unconventional, I guess the word is, for compared to like the other stuff, the other people I feel like I painted. There definitely has to be like there definitely has to be like I think there is a video on it, but like the case against just painting like conventionally pretty people. Do you know if you can make my profile picture? I probably could, it's really not. Oh, I can't zoom in on it right now. Maybe that would be a fun stream. That would be kind of a cool stream if we painted everybody's profile pictures. Maybe another stream we could do that. I actually haven't thought too much about that and how I would get your guys' profiles. Because right now I can only see it like really small. But that'd be really cool. Okay, let's see. He has a big shadow, which is a large part of why I liked this reference, because he has a big shadow cutting this whole, like, the whole right side of his face is kind of carved out by this shadow, which is really nice. I don't want it to bleed in too much. It's just wet. The paint is really wet. Another point I wanted to make was, well, I wanted to make a point of not rushing through these paintings, and that actually kind of worked out last time. For last stream, I tried not to rush, and it ended up pretty nice. So I'm just gonna do the same thing and just try not to rush. I feel like when I rush, I get the paintings always turn out. You know, let me zoom in real quick. The paintings tend to turn out kind of worse when I rush through them. All right, that should be better. He has a big beard, but we should put in all the landmarks first. I'm gonna use a smaller brush. Let's use a smaller brush. You know what? I'm not sure if Bridget is still here, but your profile picture actually is. It actually would be a good reference. And I don't think not all photography is, but I think yours would be a good reference. If I ever got around to doing that. All right, there's this eye. Glasses. He has, okay, so this is like kind of where everything stems out from. He has like, hold on. The shadow on the nose I really like on this guy. Kind of weird I'm using such a small brush. I wish I had something in between this, which is probably like a 6 or like a 5. And this is like a 0 probably. What is it? Or it's a 1. Well, I don't know if that's... Okay, that might be it. Is that how that works? No, because that's a 1 too. That can't be a... These aren't both the same size. Yeah, I wish I had like a 3 brush, like a 4 brush. I need to go get one probably. Because I find myself a lot wanting something a little bit smaller than this. Just a little bit. And then here, his nose comes to his lips, and then his lips are here, his beard. Honestly, we could kind of just wipe this whole side and put it in shadow. Which maybe, actually, yeah, let's do that. Just wipe out this side. There we go. What's up, Jan? What was your best drawing yet? You know what? I think, well, I have a couple favorites. One of them, if you can pull it up, one of them is, let me see if I can find it. One of them is an illustration I did for my book that I really like. And then another one is probably one of them that's in one of my videos. I have a video where I forgot what the video is called. I think the video, well, no, which one was it? I'm gonna pull up the first one first. I appreciate that question. That was a good question. Let me see if I can find my favorite drawing. I think my favorite one, let's see if I can find it. I don't know if I have it here. Maybe it's on my other one. Um, I would like to bring it up though, so maybe I'm gonna keep looking. Or you know what? You know what I could do? You know what we can do? We have the book. I have the book somewhere. I'm gonna work a little bit more on this painting, and then I'm gonna grab the book really quickly and then show you guys. I just want to kind of mark out some stuff before I leave the painting. But I really do appreciate that question. I feel like I don't usually think like that. And I feel like I don't usually like think of like favorites of my work. You usually, and Jan, I don't know if this is how your mind works too, but like usually when paintings, it's usually like the newest painting is my favorite. Like whatever I just did usually is like my favorite painting. Which maybe that's kind of sad. It's kind of like you forget about your old paintings the second you make a new one, but I feel like that's usually how my mind works, especially with like plein air paintings. It's usually like whatever I just did, whatever I just worked on, takes my attention away. All right, now this guy has a beautiful mane, a beautiful head of hair. All right, let me grab the painting real quick. Let me grab the book, and I can show you guys my favorite painting. I think. Okay, even better than grabbing the printed version. I think I have the original. I think the original painting is somewhere in this bag. Hopefully I can find it. It's not in this bag. It's in, if it's not in this bag, then it's in here. It's in this little binder. Just put some more. Sometimes I don't know where to keep my, like, I don't know where you guys keep your paintings, but I have them like, if they're not in a sketchbook, they're in like a little, I feel like my mom used to call it like a trapper keeper, but that sounds, to me, that sounds very like old, very old school to call it a trapper keeper. But like those little, man, where is it? It's somewhere in here. So in this binder is like a bunch of the illustrations from my book, the originals. And if I could only track down the original, where is it at? Sorry this is taking so long. Okay, here's a bunch of the originals. Okay, here's a bunch. It has to be in here. That has to be somewhere in here. Me too. Okay. Oh yeah, but the new one. I have mine in folders. Okay, fair enough. I have a lot of my old ones in folders. Like a lot of my childhood artwork is in folders. Dude, where in the world is this drawing? It could be gone, dude. Who knows? Okay, I don't know. I mean, I can just show you some other ones. I don't know if I can find this one particularly. It has to be somewhere in this binder. Just don't know where it's at. I'm so sorry. This is like the most riveting live stream, I'm sure. Oh, is this it? Okay, okay. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh my goodness, it took so long, but we finally found it. Um, so in this binder, Trapper Keeper type thing, I have a bunch of the original paintings from my book, which was not this one. This one's really nice, but it's not from the book. This one was in the book. I don't know if this one made it in the book. This one might have gotten cut. This one was like a man, a hand holding a knife. That one might have got cut. A pair of boots that might have gotten cut, I think. Pretty sure that one didn't make it. This one I didn't even finish. And part of it was just because it was so big. I just didn't, it was so big. And I find it kind of odd to work that large. This one I really liked. But I think if I would do it now, it would look a lot better. But for where I was at, I think it was 2021. That was pretty good for my skill level back then. And then we have, okay, so this one became the cover. This painting ended up becoming the cover, the book cover. Um, and then this is the one. This is the one I'm talking about. I think this is might be my favorite painting I've ever done, maybe. Maybe. It's hard to say, but I think that one might be I think this one might be my favorite one I've ever done. I just really like the no face, like the faceless appearance of this cowboy in this what's it called? In this fur coat. So yeah, that one might be my favorite like illustration I've done. And then let me grab the other one, which is not going to take nearly as long because I have it right next to me. Another illustration or another painting that I really like. Hold on. Which this might be my favorite plein air painting. Is in this sketchbook, I believe. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's in an earlier one. Oh no, here it is. Okay. I think this might be my favorite plein air painting I've done. Like just on location. Yeah, this one I really like. Um, One, I really like it just because I feel like it's a little like sweeter and a little happier than a lot of my other ones. There was like just this random couple walking through they literally really were walking through the like this little pathway, and I was able to put them in the painting. So there's just two little people there holding hands, happy. What's up, Blue? I'm sorry I didn't respond to your comment earlier today. I just didn't. I don't know. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, I think this might be my favorite plein air one, just because I think the figures add a lot to it. I think the figures make it a little happier and a little, which I've been wanting to do, but it's just such like a happenstance kind of thing. It's such like a happenstance. There may or may not be someone there. There may or may not be like room or time to add figures in. So, but I really like when the opportunity presents itself. I really do enjoy adding figures. So, a long answer. Those are my favorite paintings. I think those two paintings in particular, probably my favorite I've done. But then who knows? I mean, every time I finish a painting, it feels like it's my favorite for like a week until I do another one. Try to give this guy his majestic hair. I'm just sure to put in this shape. He has a lot more hair than I could even fit in this little spot. So I'm just gonna end it there. Unless you want to flow all the way onto this page. He's kind of, the background is so dark that it's kind of hard to see where this side ends. I think it ends here. I've been using this purple so much. It's kind of sad to see how I haven't abandoned ultramarine, but it kind of feels like that. Like I've been using this violet so much, kind of in the same way I used to use ultramarine, and it kind of feels sad a little bit. But I still use a lot of ultramarine, just in different spots and for different reasons. But I used to be like anywhere that was dark, even remotely dark, was gonna find a way to have ultramarine in it. Nowadays, I'm a little more reserved with ultramarine. I feel like violet's a little more applicable in a lot of these places, a lot of these spots where it's dark, but especially for human faces and figures. I feel like the blue is just a little bit like unnatural. Okay, just take that. Let's see what we're doing next. There you go. He's also wearing glasses, which is gonna be fun, I hope. He has a pretty cool neck beard too, which we should we do the neck beard? Should we probably, yeah. Okay. I think we can add another value to his skin tone. We also don't really, we're not really getting a lot of his facial expression right now, which hopefully it'll come around. Though I'm not sure. It's always hard to tell. Okay. He has a very olive greenish kind of complexion, and that might just be the photo, but I'm gonna go with that. Add in some green and some yellow to his skin tone. What's up, Sujan? Is Sujan your first name? Or I never know how to address you when I see your name in the comments. How's it going though? Okay, it is Sujan. You know, your every time I see your profile picture, Sujan, it reminds me there's another artist. There's this there's a Chinese art or they might be Singaporean artist from Singapore. But they did this video where they were painting and the painting in your profile picture looks a lot like that painting that this guy did, but I forgot his name. I forgot that artist's name. But every time I see your profile picture, it always reminds me of this plein air painting I saw on YouTube a while ago. Or at least the artist, maybe not the painting itself, but there we go. I'm trying to think of what that guy's name was. He's really good. I wish he kept doing I wish he painted more and made more videos. I really forgot his name. Goodness. Um, trying to think of where was he from? I know he was from. He wasn't from China. I don't think he was a Chinese artist. I think he was like either Singapore, India, or Philippines. But I don't know where. I don't know which one he was from. My profile picture was done in gouache underlay and then oils. Gouache underlay? You can do that? You can underpaint with gouache and then do oil on top? Recently started water mixable oil Cobra. I'm enjoying. You can do gouache underneath an oil painting? I feel like, wouldn't that mess it up? I feel like doing a gouache underlay on a gouache painting is hard enough. I couldn't imagine doing gouache under oils. Even I used to do a lot more because back then I was like really like on the James Gurney train, and so like pretty much anything I saw in his videos was like what I was gonna do. And I used to do of those um a lot more of those acrylic underpaintings. But even those I've kind of gotten like a little, I don't know, I've just kind of gotten a little bit like I don't think they do as much for me and my style and the way I paint as maybe they do for some other people. Really? I'm trying to do the mental math and figure out how you did that. Like a wash? You're saying like you did a wash, or you're saying like you? I guess you probably have to do just a wash, right? Because any opacity you added would make it kind of. I feel like any opacity you add to the paint would probably move around underneath the oils. Yeah, I gotta. Let me imagine. I'm trying to imagine that just in my mind, how that would be done. I want to try Cobra. Is Cobra well known? How long does it take to dry? I know I've seen the Winsor and Newton water mixable oils because I saw Sarah Burns a long time ago. I think that was probably multiple years ago. Sarah Burns tried she was doing a lot of like honestly, I think she did like a really big piece in the Winsor and Newton water mixable oils. So that's really the only brand I'm familiar with is the Winsor and Newton. Just a quick guide for oils. Cobra is best. Windsor is very gummy. Okay. Do you still use what's it called? Do you still use medium? Like do you still mix in like another maybe not like an oil, but like another like liquid? I don't know how to explain it. Like can you just go straight water? Can you just use straight up water with them? Or do you have to add in like other little elements and concoctions? You know what I'm thinking? This is like I feel like anytime you see a man with long hair and a beard, my instant thought is like Jesus. Like that's the first like thought I'm thinking in my head. Just like on like on a visual level. Whenever I see the long hair and a beard, I'm always thinking, dude, is that Jesus? Um, but with remember Cobra artist grade is good with water, not study. Oh, okay. You know what? I actually gave away I had some of those Windsor Newton water mixable oils, and I gave them away to a guy that was in my life drawing group. Um, or no, I'm sorry, no, I traded them. Sorry, I think I gave him something else, but I traded them. I just gave them away for. Funnily enough, this girl was selling, or I had some oil paint, normal oil paint, selling. Let me recollect my words. I was selling some oil paint and this girl offered, instead of taking money, instead of she asked if instead of taking money, if I would take Pokemon cards. I'm like, oh, all right, fair enough. I mean, I kind of just wanted to get rid of the Pokemon, get rid of the oil paint anyways. And I think I included some of that water mixed oil stuff in there for her. Um, so yeah, that's where that went. But I did have some for a bit. I just didn't really like it. It's 4 a.m. in UAE. I got up having tea, getting ready for meditation. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it is good to see you up. Goodness, 4 a.m. is crazy. You know, I get up at 4 a.m., but it's like out of stress, and then I go back to bed. I don't know what I was looking that up, and it was like I think it's like a real phenomenon. Like your stress levels peak at around that um at around like 3 a.m. So sometimes that makes people wake up, and I think that's what I got going on for some reason. I'm Indian in UAE. Okay, nice, 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 nice. Yeah, I think it is the cortisol. I don't know what's going on though. But you know what? The pretty recently I've been trying to stay on top of it, and I've been like wearing this. That's why I got this smartwatch and stuff. Like it like tracks my heart rate and stuff. And I feel like the more I stay on top of it, the less I deal with it. Like the more I'm cognizant of the fact that my stress can peak in that like really early morning time. It kind of has been happening a little bit less. But like when I first got this watch, and I don't think the watch fixed anything. I don't think the watch fixed anything, but like when I first was wearing it, I literally was waking up like 3 or 4 times a night. Like, and but pretty recently I've been doing a little better. Where I actually have been sleeping the whole way night through. Pokemon Cards is the most stable currency. Honestly, like compared to the U.S. dollar, like it's not a terrible like trade, honestly. And I wanted to get rid of them. I wanted to get rid of the paint anyways. I'd rather have somebody use it than have it sit in my. Um, I have such like a. I have such like a. I want to call it like minimalism, but I think it kind of creeps into like obsession. But like if I'm not using something and I keep seeing it in my room, I start to think like, dude, get this out of my house. Like get this away from me. I don't want to see this ever again. And it just stresses me out when I start seeing stuff that I know I never use. And sometimes that comes back to bite me where like I wish I had just kept something. But with those paints, I don't think I was ever gonna really use them. I'd rather see someone have them and use them than for me to just hog them in my room all day and then never use them. When do you sleep at night? Usually I go to bed. I mean, lately I've been going to bed like 10. I go to bed like 10 o'clock at night. But the problem, I never had a problem getting to bed. Like even like all my siblings or anyone I've shared a room with, they've always like told me how like I can fall asleep like that. Like I'll be talking and then having a conversation and then I'll be out. But the problem is that I always keep waking up. So like I'll wake up once at like 1 a.m. and I'll like be stressed out of my mind, just like so stressed and just scared of everything. Like night, almost like night terrors, pretty much. It kind of like night terrors, but like a low level night terror, I would say. But yeah, I'll do it once at like 1, and then do it like once at like 4, and then I'll sleep until I actually wake up. Um, the look in your portrait is simple and thank you, thank you. I didn't show you guys the other. I don't know if you guys saw, but these are the other ones from. So this was where is it at? So I don't want to smudge this. This was one from last stream. We finished this one last stream, and then I did this one today, and then this one today. This one was pretty difficult. I feel like the angle was just really weird. You know how sometimes like painting a selfie is very different. Oh, I'm smudging the paint. Um, Painting a selfie is very different. I feel like than painting like a photo shot with like a telephoto lens. Like it's very. I feel like it's very different. Because I feel like a selfie distorts your face, and this one kind of had that going on, the bit of like distortion. So that was kind of odd to paint. This one was tricky because there wasn't really any shadow on her face. And so I feel like that's been one of my weak points in the past is like dealing with these faces that have like such a small range of like dark to light. Like the contrast is like zero pretty much. I've had a problem painting those for kind of faces, but I feel like I did okay. We're gonna have this painting just got smudged for sure. Oh, that not too bad. Okay. Then we did this little dog, which is fun. I feel like the only dog I've ever painted. Okay, that's not true. I've painted my own dog, and then I painted this other dog in a little. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Sorry, I've just missed all the comments. Let me just grab the dog one and I'll read the comments. So okay, here it is. I've painted my dog, and then I painted this dog in this little painting. This painting was so like there was so little going on. Originally there was like a little flower. There was like a yellow flower cluster right here, but I just couldn't do it. I don't know what was going on. Um, but what's it called? Yeah, I figured it would look better if I just had this guy holding the dog. But all right, let me catch up. I just missed a bunch of you guys' comments. I'm sorry. Um, are you left-handed? No, I'm right-handed. I am a right-handed. These portraits are really cool. Thank you, Blue. You know, all your portraits look as if they're going to speak. And dude, that's like the best compliment I think I've ever gotten. Actually, no, I think one time a girl said I was cute, so that kind of is the best compliment. But that's close second. It's a close second. Um, Dramatic lights really help, for sure. I feel like when people like, I don't know, when it's just when there's nothing going on and it's just like evenly lit, I always struggle so bad. Like it always makes me like, yeah, I struggle really bad when there's like nothing, when there's no contrast on the face. It's like a similar thing. I think someone mentioned it earlier in like a different stream. It's like painting like babies. Like when you paint a baby, there's like nothing to like anchor on because they have no wrinkles. They don't have any like folds on their face. Shadow just kind of is always really soft. So yeah, that feels whenever it's really light or whenever it's just even lighting, I really struggle. Do you apply varnish on gouache and give gloss look? No, that was acrylic. These were all done in acrylic. These ones are done with acrylic paint. And then we made the frames in a different stream. So that was actually really fun. Making the frames was really fun. But yeah, these are done in acrylic paint. And then I spray them with the varnish. But yeah. Yeah, I haven't really gotten a good result. I don't think I've ever really gotten a great result varnishing gouache. I feel like it kind of ruins the whole point of like gouache. I can show you guys one that I've varnished, but um, desperate for bright photos. Dude, when someone like knows what they're doing and there's like a light side and a shadow side and like you can see like a little carve of light, dude, that's like the best. I'm gonna show you guys one that I varnished, a gouache painting I varnished. Okay, here it is. So this is a pretty good comparison. This is a pretty good comparison. So this is one that we varnished. This is a gouache painting I varnished. No, we're not a full-time artist yet. I don't even know if I would particularly. Sorry, that was my computer. If I would want to be. My current job is part-time. What's the word? Undisclosed. Part-time undisclosed worker. Um, I love the way you flex. Thank you. But all right, this is like a gouache painting that we varnished. I feel like it just doesn't look right. Like it just like takes kind of some of like the soul out of it. Because then you have all this like I don't know. Then compared to this one, which is like really similar colors, you can look at it from any angle. I feel like it's just better when you don't varnish it, honestly. Yeah, I feel like it just I don't know. I feel like it just makes more sense for me to have matte finished paintings. But yeah, I don't know. Okay. Um, thank you. Thank you. I remember I had a really kind of tough time with the old guy. I had a tough time with the old guy. I'm a sucker for matte finish. Same. I think matte finish is way better than gloss. Like I wish there was a way that gloss wouldn't be like that would ruin viewing angles. Because I feel like glossy paintings, which is fair, like they only kind of like you can view them. Like there's a lot of angles that you can't look at them at because they're like the gloss kind of overpowers the light from the gloss. Whatever the light from the surroundings overpowers the painting. What medium do you like? Blue's a watercolorist, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Blue's a watercolorist. Um, I use oh here okay. I use cold wax to protect. I use cold wax medium to protect gouache and watercolor while keeping it as matte as possible. You don't like that? That doesn't smudge your paintings. I always felt like that was gonna smudge. I, I've I've thought about buying like is it Gamblin? Is it Gamblin that sells the cold wax? I've thought about buying is it Gamblin or is it someone else? What about Dorland? Is that the brand Dorland or is it Gamblin? I know one of those brands sells that like wax that you like rub on your paintings. I always imagine that would kind of smudge, but maybe not. This green is kind of a cool color. Cool as in interesting, not cool as in cold. It is cool too, but it's interesting. Okay, I gotta figure something out. We can go. Let's go. Dorland wax, no smudges at all. Gamblin also makes one. Okay. I'm trying to think what that one is specifically because I know I'm like thinking of an image. Yeah, I think I was thinking of Gamblin. I was thinking of the Gamblin one. Let me look at the Dorland one. And I guess $10 isn't so bad. I guess. Yeah, I guess $10 isn't so bad because you're only using a little bit. Like you're only probably using like a tablespoon. You're probably only using a tablespoon for that. Let me look at the Dorland one. CD, what is your actual name? My actual name is Chad. Um, I've also published a book under Charles, which is like kind of similar. Whatever, just a more professional version of Chad, I guess. I remember one time, a long time ago when I was a little kid, I met this kid that used to go by Chad. I met this kid that used to go by Chad. Oh no, okay, no. It is a Dorland one. I was thinking of the Dorland because Dorland has the rainbow on it. Okay, how much does Dorland's cost? Still $10. Okay, they're about the same price. I met this kid that used to go by Chad, and I'm like, dude, we're like name twins, bro. We were like on the same baseball team and everything. And then like somehow, sometime into the season, I learned that this kid's name isn't actually Chad. The kid's name was Charles, and I felt very strange. I don't know. I just felt like very, I don't know. It was interesting, very interesting. All right, I want to go down a value from the main skin tone. Okay, let's see how this looks. Yeah, for a long time the name, for a long time the name, for a long time the name felt like a secret, but then I wanted to publish a book, so it's like, I mean, I don't know. I could just fully make one up, but I don't know. Day job is part-time, undisclosed worker. I don't want to go in fully into my work stuff. The Frugal Crafter, dude. I have not heard that name in a while. The Frugal Crafter, goodness. The Frugal Crafter on YouTube has tutorial for DIY cold wax medium. In case you want to save some bucks, but it's only worth it if you're going to use a ton of it. What does they use? Like beeswax and like oil? Honestly, I just don't. Maybe I'll start thinking about it more when I've had my paintings for a long time and I start to see them fade. But like a lot of my work is not meant to be like hung up. Like a lot of my stuff is just in my sketchbooks, or it's meant to be like scanned in for like a book or like a something like that. So I don't know. I don't really. I'm not too focused on varnishing. I'm also not too focused, which may come to like might be a thing in the future if I have these paintings for a long time. But I don't think a lot about archive quality when I'm using gouache and watercolor and stuff like that. When I'm using acrylics and stuff like that, I think more about it. But when I'm using gouache, I just don't really. Um, I don't know. I just don't really think too much about it, especially because I just scan a lot of it, or I'll take a picture of it, or I'll have it in a different format. And if I ever wanted to make something more permanent, I just wouldn't use gouache. I would just use acrylic, honestly. Um, do you use Taklon brushes? What's a Taklon brush? Frugal Craft is an excellent in mixed media. I remember seeing her videos a long time ago. I don't know. I haven't seen them in a while. Honestly, there's only so many like painting YouTube channels that I really watch like that, and quite a few of them are like friends or like or well like over the internet kind of friends, and then some of them are just people that I like respect. But yeah, I don't watch a lot of like I don't watch a ton. I don't watch as much as I used to. I feel like I used to watch a lot more of like painting YouTube and art YouTube and stuff like that. Beeswax, mineral spirits, and some kind of gum, like gum Arabic. Is that what it's called? Gum Arabic, or xanthan gum. Those are the only two gums I know. Spearmint gum, mint. I left gouache mainly because of color shift, matte finish, difficult to blend, layering as I come from oil background. Honestly, if I was just a better painter, I probably would do gouache too. If I was better at painting, I'd probably switch over to gouache as well. Or I mean, sorry, not gouache, oil. Sorry, I meant oil. If I was a better painter, I'd probably switch over to oil as well, not gouache. I honestly, I would say I plan to switch to oil paint eventually. Just for right now in my setup and like what's going on in my life, I feel like gouache is better for where I'm at and who I am right now. Um, is that a good thing? Like, do you still like gouache, but you just honestly, I don't have a lot of problem. Okay, let's go through that one by one. The color shift, I don't really have a huge problem with color shift, honestly. It's definitely different than oil. Oil kind of is just straight up. It is what you put on it. But I feel like I've just gotten so used to like there being a color shift that I just kind of like accept that it's gonna come and just kind of work around it. The matte finish, I love the matte finish. So I guess that's kind of difficult to blend. Yeah, I wouldn't advise blending. Honestly, sometimes people like try to ask like, or they'll make videos of how to blend gouache. I feel like the best answer to that and how to blend gouache is to not do it. To don't blend it. Just don't blend. You don't need to blend. You can like layer on and like add in. I mean, you can do like an what's it called? Like an unfinished. What's it called? Like an incomplete mix. You can do that. Like have an incomplete mix on your brush, and I feel like that kind of gives you a little bit of a blending effect. But if you're really trying to like blend on the page, it doesn't really. I feel like it doesn't really do much. Sorry, I don't even know what I just said right there. However, okay. Oh, maybe try Cobra water mixed oil artist grade. Oil is so easy for me. The only thing I don't like about oil is that it moves. It's a movable layer like that you can like. I guess that's kind of what people like about it. I just don't like that. Like if I put something here, if I kind of touch it with the brush, it could be gone in like the next second. But I guess that's what people like that you can move it around and kind of format it and push it around the canvas. But that's just not really my painting style at the moment. I've gotten so used to gouache that I feel like my painting style has gotten more like puzzle piece. Like I kind of just I see little shapes and I can like slowly build them up and carve them out. I feel like that's more my style at the moment, just because of like the amount of time I spent with this medium or this type of paint. Water mixed oil is a twin of gouache. I have heard that. I have heard that they're really similar. I've heard that they're really close. Man, do I really want to? See, Johnny, you're really tempting me. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again. Maybe I'll try it again. Maybe. It's a big maybe. But you are tempting me because it is. I do know it is close. I have heard that they're very close. Gouache and water mixed oils. I tried all water mixed oil. Cobra Artist Grade is superb. Just use water with water mixed oil for medium. I think you would need better paper to properly blend gouache on paper. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I tend to use kind of cheap paper. Um, yeah, I think if you were gonna do that, if you were really committed, I just don't think it's worth it. I was gonna, I was gonna try to like justify. I just don't think it's worth it. Like, I just don't think that's the medium that we're working with when you use gouache. I just don't think that's what it's for. I don't think it's for blending. I think you can do it, but I just don't think that's really what it's for. Like I think you're kind of fighting against what the medium is, what the type of paint is. What was I at? Okay, yeah. There's a reason gouache addicts use the expensive 100% cotton paper. No, you're good, Sujani. I didn't think you were sponsored or anything. I know everyone has their own. Sometimes I think that like the amount of times that I represent, I talk about Shinhan paint. I feel like eventually someone's gonna get the idea that I'm like paid by Shinhan or something. Because I really, truly, and honestly, and wholeheartedly enjoy Shinhan. And they don't pay me. I even asked them. I even a long time ago, a long time ago, I sent Shinhan like an email to see if they would just send me something because I literally talk about this stuff all the time and they didn't respond at all. But that was a long time ago. That was such. I think I might have had like maybe 1,000 subscribers or something. Me, if that, I might have had less. But yeah, I really do like Shinhan. So I know everyone has their own. Everyone has their own brand that they've fallen in love with. Hot press paper for me helps so much. Hot press is the flat one, right? This paper right here, this sketchbook, this Stillman and Burn one. When I first got it, I really did not like it. Um, because it's so smooth. Like it is so like I don't even know how to explain it, but the paper is so smooth. Like it almost feels like maybe this was no, that doesn't show anything. I don't know how to I don't know how to explain it or exemplify it or demonstrate it very well. But this paper is so smooth that like the paint will sit on top of the page for a little bit. Like the paint sits on top of the paper instead of like sinking in. And yeah, I at first I really didn't like it, but the more I used it, I really enjoyed it. So I think I can like almost any supply. You just got to get used to it. I feel like. Do you watch Sarah Burns, Cecile Yadro, superb gouache artist? Cecile Yadro, I used to watch all the time. Um, I think she's actually doing really good. I'm pretty sure she has like a Facebook group. I'm pretty sure she's doing really well as far as like gouache stuff. Um, Sarah Burns, I also used to watch a lot. I remember when I remember just watching a long time ago. I remember she was like, what was I gonna say? Sorry. Goodness, I think she started off really small, and then she was streaming. I think she was streaming on Twitch, and she did pretty well there. And then she moved to Ireland. No, not Ireland, Scotland. And I haven't. I don't really keep up. That's the. I'm so. I'm very. I just don't keep up with everyone. But yeah, I do know they're very good artists. They're very, very good artists. Sometimes I try not to. I try not to compare too much because it ultimately leads to my suffering in a way. Like not like a big time suffering, but like little mini suffering. Where you start to compare yourself to people and like whether it be their art skill or their art skill or their like social or their like real life, I don't know, whatever. Or their channels or whatever. So I try unless it's someone that I've like communicated with personally, I don't really focus too much on what a lot of other people and art people are doing. Unfortunately or fortunately. Um, I love Cecil and Sarah do amazing. They do. I also love Emily Hughes. Emily Hughes. I've never heard of Emily Hughes. All right, all right. It was really good to talk to you, Sujani. Really good to talk. I might only stay a little bit longer. I might only stay a little bit longer. I don't know if we'll finish this one today. He still has glasses and everything. What was I gonna? Oh yeah, I was saying yeah. Sometimes I just try not to focus too much on what other people are doing in my own like niche. Except for like Danny. I watch Danny a lot. Danny Sabra. I keep up with Danny's stuff. Who else do I keep up with? I keep up with Danny. I feel like me and Danny are really similar. I feel like me and Danny Sabra are pretty similar. Who else do I keep up with? Of course, whenever James Gurney posts, I'm always hyped, which hasn't been very much lately, but I think that's because he's working on another book. So I keep up with Danny. I keep up with James Gurney. Becky Iswara. I keep up with, although she hasn't done plein air in a little bit. I would like to see her do that again, but yeah, whenever Becky posts, I keep up with Becky. It's just so hard because there's so many good artists and there's so many people that like it'd be cool to keep up with, but this guy has glasses. This guy has glasses. You know what? Like the the Jesus in art depictions, that lore is really interesting. I don't know when. I'm not quite sure what period of time he adopted the long hair and like the current look. But like in some of the earliest paintings, he's just like a little like young man, like a thin man with like a little curly short afro. So it's very interesting. Very interesting to see how Jesus has been depicted in art over time. Yeah, Becky Iswara, I believe. During like COVID, we were like kind of posting around the same time, doing a lot of the same kind of stuff, plein air and like all that kind of stuff. Nowadays, she's more like stationary, I think. But a while ago, yeah, she was really going heavy with the plein air, and I think she's Hong Kong based. I think she's Hong Kong. I think it's Becky ISJ. I think it's ISJ WARA. I found Danny Sabra. Never seen his videos before. Oh, he's really good. He's really good. He has like a really chill kind of vibe too. So I like that too. And he also does like kind of what I wish I could do, but I don't. Like he just films the videos like just really long form, and he'll have like an hour long video where he's just like talking through the whole thing, giving his thoughts. So I like that I like that format too. Even though I personally make my videos like kind of short. Honestly, I could make my videos like a 2 minute video. Like sometimes I kind of want to. Sometimes like I would like to make like a 2 minute video. But lately I've been kind of catching on to the fact that you kind of should probably it's probably more beneficial to have like a 20 or 15-minute video. But I feel like I could get a lot of the same ideas across in like 2 minutes, which is what I used to do. I used to post like minute and a half videos or like 3 minute videos. Yeah, I like Becky's stuff. Becky had a lot of like had really good production, I would say. I think she everyone has something different. I feel like Becky had really good production. It was also cool seeing just seeing Hong Kong in general. Um, Danny has like really like slow and thought out and like you can see like genuine like the way he's talking through his paintings, and so that's interesting to see. Who else? I'm trying to think of who else do I follow. Um, there's an artist named Dorian Cohen that I don't know if he's posted a video in a while, but I really liked his stuff when he was posting. Dorian Cohen. Let me see if I can. Let me see if he's even posted in a while. Yeah, I liked Dorian stuff. Let's see if he's still posting. Let's see. Let's see. No, he hasn't posted. Man, he hasn't posted in a while. 6 months. And yeah, Dorian hasn't posted in 6 months, but he's really good. He has a very similar like I don't want to say a similar style to James Gurney, but if you see his stuff, you'll definitely see um, similarities between him and James Gurney and just the way they approach stuff. I really like Dorian Cohen. He was cool. I like man, I'm forgetting all these people's names. Jared Cullum. I like Jared Cullum stuff. Dude, Jared actually is killing it, dude. Jared actually is really awesome. Jared was doing a comic book. It looks really nice. It's really cool. Jared Cullum. And then there was what's that other guy's name? What is his name? I haven't seen him stuff in so long. I forgot his name. Um he's the guy that was doing a lot of like fountain pen stuff. Oh, Dorian, Dorian, and then Cohen. Yeah, that's Dorian. He does some cool stuff. And then there's Gil Robles. Goodness, dude, there's so many people. I know Gil hasn't posted in a while, but I know Gil just dropped a comic book, which is looks so cool. It's very like classic 70s, 60s comic type stuff. There's so many artists. Oh my goodness, there's so many artists. So many people making art. Do I like to draw food illustrations? I haven't done that in a long time. I did. You know what? Let me grab something really quickly. I want to show. Oops. Oh. I did a food drawing a long time ago. Um. I think it's in this sketchbook. I think it's in this sketchbook that I have. I did a video. I don't even know if it's still up on my channel, but you guys can check maybe. Where I did. No, it's not this sketchbook. It can't be this one. Or is it? Is it this one? Oh yeah, it is this one. Okay. I did a sketch of my breakfast a long time ago. So that was kind of a food sketch. That was fun. That was what year was this? I guess it was March. It must have been before this one, so it was probably like um, early 2023. So yeah, that's kind of I haven't done something like that. I haven't done something like that in a long time. There used to be these things on Instagram. Back when I was really active on Instagram, there used to be these things where you would everybody would paint the same reference, and so you would see everyone's different style pop out. And a lot of those were a lot of those ended up being food related drawings. Okay, let's put in some glasses. Yeah, a lot of those ended up being like Snickers bars or something like that. Thanks for showing me. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it, chamomile. Yeah, it's been a little bit. I haven't really drawn. I've been really trying to delve into portraits and landscapes. The portraits thing, I'm actually really proud of myself that I've delved so hard into the portrait side. Because there was a portion of time where I was really scared. Well, not scared, but like really intimidated by portraits. And I just didn't see how it would be even possible to like understand all the things that go on in a face. There's so much to understand. And I remember just feeling so overwhelmed with like how to draw portraits and all like that. And I just stuck it out, and I think I'm competent at least. I kind of understand what's going on a little bit if I have a reference. Without a reference, I'm fully kind of lost. But with the reference, we can definitely get it figured out. Okay, we're fully missing the shape of his glasses, but that's okay for now. Yeah, I've said this before, but I remember there was a Proco video where he was talking about like it doesn't really make a lot of sense to just be like a one subject artist. Like that's kind of in the beginning it kind of feels like you're almost like hiding out. You know what I mean? Like you might not be a very good artist, or you might just be early on in your art career, art journey, and so you think you're gonna hide away and like not being able to draw portraits or not being able to do landscapes. But it's like if you really want to fully express the thoughts in your head, or you really want to fully express like what you find beautiful, it only makes sense that you're gonna eventually have to hit the road and not hit the road. Goodness, what in the world? You're eventually gonna have to like figure out how to do portraits. That's you're just gonna have to do it at some point in time if you really want to fully, express what you find beautiful about the world, or what your take on this human experience is. You're probably gonna have to learn how to draw portraits. So just do it. It's really not even that crazy. But I don't know. Everything seems so much more difficult when you're at the beginning of it. Especially drawing faces, because there's so much. There's so much, and I still don't even know everything. I still don't even know most of what it takes to draw a good portrait. Like a lot of what I kind of rely on is like colors and shadow and light. But if I really had to break down like everything, like the zygomatic process and all this kind of stuff, I would just have no clue. Which is mostly because I didn't really pay that much attention in what's it called? Exactly. See, I didn't even remember the name of the class. In biology and anatomy, physiology. I didn't pay that much attention in anatomy, and then in oh my goodness, I didn't really pay that much attention in anatomy. There's so many artists, even pro ones that will never try portraits. I'm always surprised, but I see where they're coming from. I feel like I kind of like you can either like max out your landscape, or you're like so I feel like it goes like this. There's like at least there's like landscapes, there's like portraits, there's like animals, and then there's like objects or whatever. It's almost like in like a fighting game. It's like you can't have everything. At least most people can't have everything. So it's like either you're gonna max out. If you max out your landscape stat, you're gonna have like low portraits, low animals, maybe mid animals, decent, and then decent objects. So it's like you gotta pick and choose which one you want to max out, or which one you want to focus on. But if you max out your portraits, you're gonna have okay landscapes, probably bad animals, and like bad objects. So it's like you gotta pick and choose. So I get it. Which I'm not gonna say I regret it, but I feel like the fact that I've spent so much time learning, going back and forth, learning portraits, learning faces, learning landscapes, it's like my landscapes are probably like here. My portraits are probably like here. No, probably a little better. Hold on, let me readjust this. My portraits are probably here. My landscapes are probably here. My animals are like here. And then my objects are probably like here. But I feel like maybe if I had spent more time just doing landscapes, maybe my landscapes would be here, but maybe my portraits would be here. Who knows? Who knows? It's just trade-offs. It's all trade-offs, picking and choosing. What do you get better at? What do you not get better at? But I would say I'm thankful I learned portraits. And I'm thankful that I learned a kind of like repeatable process to get there as well. Because it's not really like a mistake. I don't really like, I don't mistakenly end up at my portraits anymore. I think in the beginning it was more like that. You like kind of mistakenly end up on a decent portrait. But I think now for the most part, I'll mistakenly end up on like a kind of subpar portrait. And my normal portraits are like kind of okay. You mean not everyone has the James? Honestly, have you seen James Gurney's portraits or his drawings at like 15? They're absolutely like, well, they're good. They're not like crazy out of this world, but for his age, they were really good. I'll say that. I think everyone could get there theoretically. I think everyone can get there. Well, maybe not everyone, but I think I can get there. I mean, it just depends on if you have a desire to. I think if I really wanted to, if I spent the next 50 years learning how to draw, um, I could probably get almost close. But it's also different. You know, everyone has different style. So it's not even like you're directly competing with anybody particularly. Unless like you're trying to do James Gurney better than he does it, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. Then you're not really competing with anybody. I'm just trying to do the best version of me. Okay, I'm gonna try to wrap this up. This looks nothing like. Oops, sorry. It doesn't really look like the reference, but that's fine, I suppose, for now. It's gonna be the best I can do. We definitely have some stuff to improve on for next time. I feel like we missed a lot on this portrait. I feel like if I just take like a red, like a soft brown red, I can kind of fix some of this stuff or mess it up. This guy's quite a bit chunkier than I think I gave him credit for. Not even in a bad way. Just I think I made him look a little too slimline. I'm gonna put in the lip, and I'm probably gonna call it a night. Put in this bottom lip, and then probably end it there. It's a really vibrant pink. Also, I don't know. I felt kind of weird about saying that not everyone can get to James Gurney level. I don't even know um, particularly where to place people on skill levels. I would just say um, everybody is human, and therefore everything is, in the realm of possibility. There's even artists that like I look at who have this crazy talent, but they're still human, so they're still, under the laws of reality. So nothing they do is impossible to replicate, or to be comparable to. It's also good to remember that it's not even really about that. At this point with AI, like it doesn't even matter how good you are. All kinds of different stuff is becoming art, or being seen as art. So probably better to just have fun. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little better about this portrait now that we're kind of adding in some of these purples and stuff. Maybe we'll add in another green to his shirt. It's starting to get late. What time is it? Almost 10 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up before 10. We're going to be out of here before 10. That'll bring us to an hour and a half anyways. And I can get some sleep. And this whole time, I've been listening to the exact same song over and over and over and over and over again for this past hour and a half. I could probably listen to it for another hour and a half if I needed to. There you go. I can't tell if it's. Oh, I can't tell what it is, but for some reason, that James Gurney statement is still staying in my head. Goodness, goodness, I just can't let things go. Okay. Do we want to add a background to him? That's a question for the ages. You know what we should do? We should add his irises, or not irises. His what's the word for the white part of your eye? Not the scapula. What's it called? What's the white part of your eye? Not the iris. That's the colored part. Not the pupil. That's the black part. What is the white part of the eye? No, not the iris. Is it the scapula? No, it can't be the scapula. That's like your back. I don't know whatever it is, but let's add the white part of his eyes. James is magnetic. James is magnetic. Yeah, there is something about his character that definitely adds to his paintings. That I think maybe if you saw them alone, maybe you wouldn't get the same hint of joy. No, I don't think it's called globes. I think it's called like. I thought it was like scapula, not scapula. I keep. It's not scapula. I know it's not scapula. Let me look it up. White part of eye. Let's see what it's called. The sclera. Okay, that's what it's called. It's called the sclera. The sclera. I had to Google it. Yeah, I don't know. I kept thinking scapula for some reason, like the big bone on your back, or the big shoulder bone. Is that what a scapula is? Yeah, the big like shoulder bone. I really didn't pay attention during anatomy and physiology. Let's actually leave this eye unfinished. Really, a lot of those classes I just didn't really love. Like anatomy, I just didn't really feel that interested by. Chemistry, I didn't really feel that interested by, and kind of was interesting at certain points in time. Biology, I liked in moments. But I would say the classes I actually like really enjoyed were like history classes. Um, I enjoyed like not theology. I didn't take theology class. Geology. I enjoyed geology. What's up, Bob? You're back. It's good to see you back, Bob. Okay, there we go. We need to fix his nostril and then try to be out of here in 5 minutes before 10. Do you guys ever get like notifications from Quora, like emails from Quora? Quora is crazy. Quora is like designed to make you stressed out. They ask like the most fake questions ever. Okay, there you go. Um, I never got the chance to take an art class in college, at least. Unfortunately, I wish I did, but I didn't. What would be a good background color? I feel like red would be nice because of so much the green in the shirt. But maybe let's see. Maybe a red would be nice. Maybe like a. We could always do blue. I really love. I did this for a couple of these. For these ones, I did like we did blue on her, which was really nice. I think the blue complemented the orange and yellow, so that was why that worked there. The purple worked here because I think it was just I don't even know. Purple just worked for some reason. This one we did blue again because of the red and the kind of tan in the dog's fur. I think we should either leave it be or do red. I think we're gonna do red. I was gonna leave it be, but that wouldn't be any fun. Should we do like a circle or should we do like a? We just do like a big block out here. Just drinking a claws. There you go. Saw a paintbrush in my junk drawer today, and almost took it out. Oh, almost there. You're halfway there. Do you ever have inertia? Like when you can't get going? Like you mean like not being able to get going with painting? If that's what you mean, I with painting no, but with a lot of other things, yeah. With painting, I usually don't. It's like kind of the last like it's something I don't really have to worry too much about with like art block. I don't want to jinx myself because I could get it. If it's like a bug, I could catch it, but um I don't really get a lot of art, but do you guys get a lot of art block? I feel like I don't really get art block a lot because all the stuff I'm inspired by like stays there 24/7. Like it's either nature or it's like faces or stuff. So I'm kind of just inspired by like pretty looking things, even if it's like not a conventionally pretty looking thing. Like even if it's just like this dude's face that kind of has a cool shadow on it, that's kind of inspiring me to paint. Or if it's like coming here and getting to chat with you guys, that's kind of inspiring for me to paint. But I do get like video block, which is a little different, but like trying to make an art video for me sometimes I'll get like kind of I'll overthink it and I just won't end up doing it. But for just painting itself, I'll even if I didn't have a channel, I'd probably be painting this much. I'd probably still be painting here at 8 p.m., 8 to 10. I'd probably still be doing that, even if I didn't make videos about it. Oops. All right, there. That's probably the end. I kind of don't like how. I think we should add in the eye, the sclera, not the scapula. We should add in the sclera. Then I'll call that a night once we add in the sclera. What's art vertigo? What is art vertigo? What are all these terms? Art vertigo, art inertia. Art dysentery. Art diarrhea. Okay. Honestly, I think it's kind of helpful. Like, if you make a video and has like an art term that people haven't really heard before, I feel like that would be good like clickbait. That'd be good clickbait. Like when I did that the zombie palette thing, I think that video did really well, and I think it's largely because it had a cool name. We just need to fix this a little bit. You know what else I always notice doesn't look right? It always looks cool in pictures, or it makes sense in photos, but never really seems to work out in paintings. Is double like two highlights on eyes, like a highlight per eye. Doesn't never seems to work out for me. I don't know why. But all right, we're gonna literally draw us to a close in like 10 seconds. I'm gonna fix that and then fix this and then fix this last little bit and then we'll call it a day. Okay. I want to say thank you guys for all stopping by and chatting. We actually had a really good stream today. A lot of people chatted. A lot of people stopped by. Bob, it's good to see you. Blue, it's always good to see you. Chamomile, it's great to see you. Who else stopped by? Sujani stopped by. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys for stopping by and chatting with me. It's always fun. We didn't sign it. Let's sign it and then we'll call it a day. Let's sign it. All right, sorry. Okay, sign it. There we go. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Thanks, Blue. It's always good to see you, Blue. Yeah, hopefully I'll stream tomorrow. There's a good chance I'll stream tomorrow. There's a good chance. Maybe not 100%, but like I'd say a good 34% chance I'll stream tomorrow. But all right. Thank you guys. See you guys later.